Once again, welcome to SecPod Now product webinar series, The Art of Managing and Securing Endpoints, Chapter 2, How to Achieve Effective Patch Management Using Senana. Let me introduce the presenters again. I'm Dikshita from the product marketing team, and along with me, we have Smita from the product specialist team.
Hello, everyone.
Let us discuss about today's agenda. To begin with, we are going to see about SecPod Now patch management. And followed by that, we are going to cover about how does Now patch management works, and we will see what are the major OSs and applications supported in Now patch management. And we have handpicked some top patch management scenarios which are challenging and difficult to handle. And Smita will be providing solution for those scenarios, and she will take us to a walkthrough in how to handle those scenarios using Now. And at the end of the webinar, we will be discussing the questions and answers. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please raise them then and there. At the end of the webinar, we will take up the questions and answers will be given for all your questions. Let us begin the session now. Smita, so before we go in and see in deep about Sentinel patch management capabilities, tell us about the basics of it.
Yeah, patch management is one of the 6 applications in our cyber hygiene. So, Synano's patch management is a hassle-free, easy-to-use web-based software which helps user to simplify and automate all the patching needs. So, patch management, which we also call as PM, will assure 100% patch compliance in the network. Sena now, with the help of daily scans that are scheduled, will detect the vulnerabilities in the network and provides available missing patches. So in this way, IT admins can mitigate these detected vulnerabilities from the patches available by analyzing it. Sena now continuously will help in detecting and deploying the patches. Senanow's smart patching technology provides end-to-end automated patch management system.
That was really interesting, Smita. Let's move on to the next section now. How does Sena now patch management works?
As you can see, this is the workflow of the patch management system. So here, Sena now has a dedicated patch management server. You can see on the right side, and all the agents I can say as Windows, Linux, and Mac. So all these will be in continuous contact with the patch management server. Sena now has a patch repository which consists of information about detecting and mitigating the patches. So all those information about the patches will be in the Sena now's patch repository. So this repository will be daily fed with latest data for detecting the vulnerabilities, and our server will be in continuous sync with this patch repository. So all the third-party applications sync from this server, from this patch repository to the server. Senanow's patch repository supports various third-party applications, like you can see Chrome, Java, and Adobe. So like this, we have a large number of application support, and these data will be synced to the server for its information. But not just third-party applications. When it comes to operating system applications, application patching, agents of different platforms will be in continuous sync with its own servers, like patching servers. For example, if you consider Windows has its own Microsoft patching server. Also, they can set up a WSUS server in their own network and consider patching. So agent will connect agent will be connected to the server, and from there we will be able to achieve operating system patching, application patching. So agent gets the patch from the OS specific server, and it will help in remediation of these or deploying these patches, all the OS related patches from their own server. So in this way, we will be able to achieve the third-party application deployment also, patch deployment also, as well as operating system applications also, OS applications also. So this is the workflow of patch management.
This is really helpful, Smita. Let us move on to the next question. What are the OSs and applications supported by CNNO patch management?
Yeah, Sena now supports patching activity on all the major operating systems, as you can see here, Windows, Linux, and Mac. So all these platforms we support. And this is inclusive of around 200 plus third-party applications across all the OS. And all the operating system upgrades also will be covered as part of patch management. Suppose you have an upgrade for your Linux system or Windows has some upgrade to its next version, we will be supporting that. We also provide support for operating system applications too. So like fixing some of the Microsoft patches, we will be able to do that or achieve that in patch management.
So, as Smita said, Sena now supports cross-platform patching on all OSs, including Windows, Mac, Linux, and a wide range of third-party applications. So now let us move on to the important section of today's webinar. We have put together some of the top patch management scenarios which are challenging and difficult for the IT teams. And Smita will be explaining us on how Senana will be simplifying these scenarios, and she will be taking us through a quick product walkthrough or explaining these scenarios so that we can understand how to resolve these challenges using Senana. So the first scenario is periodic patch scans are ineffective and not able to detect all missing patches. So, as the scenario states, many IT teams often believe that periodic patch scans are seriously enough to detect all the missing patches in the network, but however, this is not true. So, this is one major challenge faced by many IT teams across. And Smita, what is the solution for this?
Yeah, periodic patch scans are not effective. So it is recommended that you schedule patch scans every day to detect the missing patches regularly. With Sena now, you can schedule the scans. I will take you and show you how we can schedule the scans. So I'll be sharing the screen now. So Senanow's detection technique is based on world's largest SCAP repository, which is our homegrown. So on a daily basis, new vulnerability and patch data will be fed into the database. So using this data, agent scans the device to get the latest vulnerabilities and the patches that are associated with it. So to achieve this, we need to scan on a daily basis, right? So to do that, how do we do it? So once you log into your account, you will be landed into this dashboard. You will see a set of controls in the left panel where you can scroll down and click on settings. So once user click on settings page, setting creation page will be open, and just have to create settings. One second. So in this settings page, there is an option to schedule. So once you click on the schedule, there is an option to schedule the scan time. So by default, all the agents are configured to scan daily at 12 p.m. But if still user wants to schedule it to his customized time, user will be able to select that and edit that in the section. Once the scan time is set, user can select any number of groups that he is required and create the settings. So once you create the settings, the server will send the settings or push the settings to the agents, and from then on, agents will start its daily scan on the particular scan time. So this is one way of scheduling the scan. If suppose user wants to do an on-demand scan, so whenever he feels like he wants to get the latest vulnerability data, that also can be done. So that can be achieved from the devices page. So from the same left panel, if you traverse to manage and devices section, so click on the devices page, you'll be able to see the list of devices that is available in your account. So if user wants to scan the first device, just select the device or any number of devices and click on scan now. So once user clicks, so once happens, so this is the message you get started for scanner enabled devices. So scan will data will be uploaded to the server. So in this way, we can achieve a scan, schedule the scans and achieve daily scans in the agents.
I think Smita is encountering some network issues and she will be back. Smita was explaining us about how to schedule patch scans in Sena now. If any of you have any doubts, kindly put it in the questions.
Can I rejoin, or am I audible?
Yes, Smita, you're audible now.
So the last was the scan on demand. So was it completed?
Smita, I think you can repeat that. And can you share
Okay,
your screen as well?
correct. Yes, I'll be doing. Able to view my screen?
Yes, Smita.
Yeah. So as I told, we can schedule our scans also from the settings page, and we will be able to put a on-demand scan from the devices section. So in order to go to devices page, in the left control, we will have manage devices section, where once you click on the devices, you will be able to see the list of devices that is installed in your account. User can just select the device and click on scan now. So once user clicks on scan now, an immediate task will be sent to the agent to start the scan. So immediately the scan will start, and latest data will be scanned, and the vulnerability details and the missing patches available for the vulnerability will be uploaded to the server. So in this way, using Sena now, we will be able to achieve scheduled scans.
This is helpful, Smita. So I hope that first scenario on how to address patching is clear now. Let's move on to the second scenario. Finding missing patches is one, and deploying them is even a difficult task. So, finding missing patches is the very first step of patch management. And the next step would be downloading the patches from various vendor sites and deploying them on the target computers. So, Smita, this is one of the most difficult tasks in patching. How do you think we can go about handling this?
Yeah. So now that you understood about how the vulnerabilities are detected, we can now understand that how the patching activities uh, will be achieved in Sena now. So patching from patch management tool is very, very simple and straightforward. So for that, I'll be sharing my screen. So to go to or to dive into patch management section, user should click on the S icon and you will be able to see all the provisions under this. User can just click on patch management or PM icon. So once user clicks on the PM icon, he'll be able to see this informative dashboard. So this dashboard itself will give you a lot of information on the number of patches that are you able to hear me?
Yes, Smita.
Okay. So this page itself will give you a lot of information about the patching, that the information that is collected. So all these data will be generated as soon as the agent uploads the scan data to the server. So here you can just see the device compliance and asset compliance and patch by severity. So these are all for the user ease, and the total number of vulnerabilities that are detected and the number of patches that are required for these vulnerabilities will be displayed. Also, we show some security patches. So as I told you, all the scan data will be uploaded, right? So we will be showing it in the device view as well as in patch view, so that user will easily understand the number of patches that are available for each device and the size available, and he can go ahead and deploy these patches. Also, we have some other sections like patch by vendor and aging of the patch, like how old is your patch in your network and patching impact. So how many patches will reduce the number of vulnerability count in your account. So all these you will be able to analyze before patching. We have missing configuration and patches installed over time and so on. So all the installed patches will also be displayed after your patching, so that those information also can be seen in this page. And the tasks that are created, the status of the task can also be seen in this page. So before patching, you will be able to have an idea on what all patches, I mean, it is detected in the account. So now that we understood, we will go and look how we will be able to create the remediation or deploying the patch. You will be able to see a number of different tabs here in the PM section: missing patches, missing configuration, most critical patches. So I'll be explaining each and everything. But first, let's go to missing patches section. So once user clicks on this missing patches, user will be able to see the list of missing patches that is across your groups. Okay, all the sections, all the patches across the groups will be listed in this section. So it is irrespective of devices or groups. So user can also filter these patches, uh, to view the individual group or devices. Like he can just click on this all groups, select the number of devices or groups and apply the filter, so that he'll be able to see the patches according to the group. And as you can see, we have bifurcated these patches into two different sections. One is the security section and non-security section. So any update that has a direct impact on the endpoint, we list it under the security patches. Whereas some general updates and bug fixes, which are necessarily not affecting the endpoint security, so we categorize it as non-security patches. So all these can be, remediated in the same way, but we just bifurcate and show it in different security and non-security sections. So now how to mitigate this? We need to just select the applications from this tab and click on apply selected patches, where a pop-up will be displayed. It is just simple. User just need to create the task. Just have to create the task and schedule the time for the task, if remediation should happen immediately or if it should happen on scan, like post the scan if the remediation should take care, or on a custom date. If user wants to create the remediation on Friday 5th or 6th, so he can select the time and apply the date and time and apply the changes so that user will be able to achieve the remediation from this control. So as soon as you apply the selected patches, user will be able to create the task. So in this way, it has a very simple steps, and user will be able to create the remediation for these assets. So yeah, Dikshita. So in this way, we will be able to create the simple patching activity.
That was really helpful, Smita. So, any queries on this deployment or remediation of patches, please do let us know. Let us move on to the third scenario now. Manual patch management is time consuming and tedious. This is also very true. So, patching generally consists of various tasks from scanning, download, deployment, reporting, and manually getting it done is not an easy task. So, Smita, tell us how can we handle this in Zenana?
Solution is straightforward, Dikshita. So automation is the key solution for this. Sena now supports end-to-end automation of patch management from scanning to deployment. So Sena now with its smart patching technique helps user to automate this patching activity. So to go to automation, I'll just explain how to go to that. So from the same page where we landed from the patch management, I said we have different controls. In that, we need to go to automation section. So this is the page. So once user clicks on the automation page, user will be able to see the. Irrespective of the vulnerable or non-vulnerable assets, all the assets will be listed in this section, and user will be able to select the assets in group wise. So you will be able to remediate in a group wise. So all the groups will be displayed on the filter like asset source. Once you click on that, user will be able to select the groups, and group wise assets will be listed here. So user can just select this asset and click on create automation rule, where some patching options will be asked for the user's input, and patching installation type, whether user wants to remediate only security patches or both the security and non-security patches. User can select both the things. And if user wants to include the upcoming assets for patching, that also can be customized. But here we also have some scheduling options that are little different from missing patches. But I want to tell a major difference with the missing patches that I recently told with the automation. That is, in remediation with the help of missing patches, it is just one time. Whereas in automation, as the name itself says, it is like automated, and the task can be forever. Example, if the asset that we selected here, 7zip64, uh, this asset is detected as vulnerable. And when we create a rule for this, or the automation for this, we usually call this task as a remediation rule. And when we create a remediation automation for this asset, it will remediate the 7zip. But in future, if 7zip again becomes vulnerable, user need not worry, and automation itself will handle that and go ahead and remediate it. So to remediate that, we will be scheduling this automation. Suppose we can schedule the automation on every scheduled scan, like we schedule the scan at 12 p.m. So every day after 12 p.m., our remediation automation will be triggered. Similarly, you can select the automation on a daily basis or weekly basis and monthly basis. So in weekly, you can even customize in a way where you can select all any particular week on which particular day of the week, and the start time and end time can be customized. Even monthly option is available, where you can select any number of months, and every week and every day of that particular month can be selected. We also have an option that if user wants to remediate on a particular date of every month. That is also available. If suppose a new vulnerability is detected and on every 21st of the month we need remediation, we can do it. So in this way, we will be able to schedule the remediation automation or remediation rule. We also provide pre-remediation scripts and post-remediation scripts where if suppose some of the scripts has to be run before remediation or patching activity is carried out, that can be, we can upload the scripts from this option. Also, post-remediation script can also be. Similarly, after the remediation, if suppose user wants to run some scripts, so that also can be achieved from this section. Similarly, simple task name can be provided with the patch activity notification, so that user will know that in the background patching is going on. And some of the post patching activity can also be given with some text and apply to the group that you want to remediate. Like if you want to remediate only Mac OS assets, you can select and create an automation rule. So this is very simple, and once you create the rule will be displayed in the status section. So in this way, IT admins will not have any problem in mitigating the vulnerability daily. When it becomes vulnerable again and again, so user need not worry about it. So automation will automatically take care about it. In this way, we will be avoiding the problems of manual patching.
That is very clear, Smita. So let us move on to the next scenario now. Too many unfixed patches and not sure about what to patch first. This is one of the very common scenarios faced by IT teams. The moment we run a patching scan, we tend to see a lot of open patches and open vulnerabilities in the network, and this really puts IT teams and IT admins into a confusion state where they don't have a clear picture on what to patch first. How can we handle this, Smita?
I agree, Dikshita. Prioritization based on the risks will give IT admins a clear idea on it, right? So using Sena now, user need not worry on prioritizing the patches also. So that I'll be explaining. Every single vulnerability will be associated with the CVSS scoring according to the standards. So based on the CVSS scoring, patches are bifurcated into different levels like critical, high, medium, and low. As you can see, we have a filter also for that. So this can be seen for each patch in the missing patches. Suppose we have an asset, and for each asset, we will be displaying the risk also. So depending on the risk, user can prioritize his patching activity. Since the vulnerabilities with CVSS scoring is very critical, right? With the critical is very dangerous into your network. Suppose Apple Mac OS X is very critical, and this is a must to be remediated or deployed. The patch should be deployed immediately. So hence we provide a separate tab which will list all the critical patches, and we name it as most critical patches also. This is for our user ease. And when user clicks on most critical patches, all the critical patches will be listed in this section. This is as simple as creating the task from the missing patches section. User should just click on all the assets or any number of assets and click on the apply selected patches with the same schedule. Now, if this is for all the scheduling, all the remediation options, like if you want, there are a large number of assets and that has to be deployed. We also have an option called as test and deploy option, where there are large number of Windows 7 devices and you want to test that remediation first and then deploy it to all the other devices. So we also have that option to test and deploy it to other devices. So like this, in this way, we can prioritize our patching, and we also recommend to everyone that it is important to deploy patches of all severity ranges, not just critical. So and we should not leave the less critical ones, I feel. And it is always recommended to patch all the missing updates in the network to have a risk-free IT environment. So I would prefer we remediate all the assets in the network.
That was a really useful tip, Smita. So, as Smita said, it is really important to patch all the crucial updates in the network and as well as the less critical ones. It is always important to not miss out on any updates or to have a risk free IT environment. Let us move on to the next scenario. Stuck with incompatible or faulty patches in the network, which are causing errors in the production. So, what happens? Sometimes we might end up deploying the patch and later realize that that patch is not suitable in our environment or that patch might cause any production errors. How do we go about handling this, Smita?
The solution for this is just rollback. So we provide an option called as rollback. Uh, we will be able to achieve that through rollback. I'll show you how we can achieve that. So in the same section, when you land from the PM page, we have another tab that is called as rollback. I agree that there might be some circumstances where some of the Microsoft patches or any other patch might not have been installed properly or will be in a faulty state. Um, Such patches might affect the system's functionality, and in that case, Sena now provides this ability to uninstall these deployed patches. So once you install all the patches will be listed, all the installed patches will be listed under rollback section. So from the rollback section, user will be able to select the installed patch, which user thinks as faulty, and create a rollback task for the asset and apply it to the agent. So similarly, like this is same across this patch management platform. You just have to select this and select the revert selected patches option, where using the task controls, you'll be able to add the task and schedule the rollback time, whether you want it immediate or after scan or custom date. We also have one exciting feature where you can just see whether the devices are online or offline in the same pop-up, where if the devices are offline, you can just wait for the devices to come up and take up this job. And then click on the revert selected patches to just create the rollback task. So once you create this rollback task, what happens? Server will push this task to the agent, and agent will consider the patch and go ahead in uninstalling the selected patch. So in this way, Sena now supports the rollbacking feature. But sometimes all the patches might not be allowed for rollbacking. So it purely depends on the vendor. So you might get that differentiation in the rollback status column. So if suppose the vendor allows this KB to be rollback, that can be bifurcated as true or false. If the vendor is allowing, the rollback status will be true. If not, it will be false. So before creating the rollback task, user will know whether it is rollbackable or not. So in this way, we will be supporting rollback option.
That was helpful, Smita. So, as Smita mentioned, the best way to deal with faulty updates is rollback. So the next scenario is even after using automated approach for patching, restarting or rebooting systems takes manual efforts. As all of us might already know that some patches demand restarting or rebooting of endpoints. In that cases, we know that automation might not be possible for these cases. How do we handle this, Mita?
Yes, rebooting systems after patching is very crucial, and I agree it's annoying to manually reboot the systems every time the remediation is done, right? So, in order to overcome this problem, we provide two ways to reboot or restart your system post remediation. So, to do that, we will be able to handle that from the task creation page itself. So user, while creating the patching activity, for example, I'll go to, this is available for each and every section. So if user wants to apply the reboot control, so once user is in the missing patches page, for example, he selects one or two assets and click on apply selected patches. So in the task control section, you'll be able to see reboot control option. So in this reboot control, we have scheduling the reboot or reboot schedule option, where we have three different types of scheduling the reboot. So I'll go with reboot automatically first. So once user selects the reboot automatically, um, agent will reboot once after the remediation is succeeded. So if a patch requires a reboot, agent will automatically go ahead and remediate or reboot the system. So this is about reboot automatically. There's another option where you can schedule your reboots. If user does not want to reboot the device after patching, maybe due to the work timings or if some tasks are unsaved, uh, user can also schedule their reboot time from this section. Here, user will be able to select the reboot date and time here, and any message to the user who is on the system can be provided through the reboot message. So this helps the user to work seamlessly even when the patching activity is going on in the background. So in this way, we will be able to achieve scheduling, or we will be scheduling the reboot from the patching activity. So the last option is do not reboot option. So here once user, or by default it will be do not reboot, where user or once a patching is done, reboot will never happen after remediation. Now that you will be thinking, what if a patch really requires a reboot? And if I select this option, how do I reboot? So there is a solution for that also. Once user selects do not reboot option, uh, in the status page, we will be able to create the rebooting task. So if you go to status page and you see that if an asset requires a reboot, you can just select the host name in the task page. So this is the status page where you can see the last section in the tab. This status page, user can select the host name and click on reboot device. So once user clicks on reboot device, a new pop-up will be shown with to enter just the task name and the reboot message. Also, you can schedule the reboots as we scheduled in the previous patch creation page. So we will be able to schedule it as well as create it immediately. So in this way, we will be able to achieve a rebooting from Sena now.
This is very interesting, Smita. So, any auxiliary tasks like rebooting and restarting missions after patching can also be automated in Senana. Let us move on to the next scenario now. Adhering to patch compliance is not easy, and it gets even more daunting during audit times. We all know that major industry benchmarks like HIPAA, PCI, NIST CSO frameworks mandates that patch compliance is really mandatory. So, Smita, how do we go about ensuring that a company is 100% patch compliant and there aren't any unpatched system in the network?
Yes, Sena now support remediating these non-compliant assets too. So they are very crucial, and there might be systems where they are deviating from the rules or rules that are set from an organization's perspective or security perspective. So such devices will be detected by our Sena now agents, which do not which are abiding to the compliance standards, right? So such configuration patches, we also call it patches, we call it by name CCs, and we have an option to remediate that too. Okay, so for that, we will be able to see that in the same section. In the PM landed page, we will be able to see missing configuration section, where we will list the patches which are operating system based. So for each operating system, the number of patches will be listed. So CC, there'll be a name with CC, some numbering given for this, and this patch will can be remediated from this section. User will be able to select any number of patches, and this will be sent to the agent, and the patches will be remediated from this section. So you can select operating system wise for each and every operating system non-compliant assets present in your account. This is also in the similar way, we will be able to create the remediation task and achieve the remediation for non-compliant assets.
Thank you, Smita. That was helpful. Let us move on to the next scenario now. OSs and applications have patches to remediate vulnerabilities. How about loopholes in the hardware? So, it's a very interesting scenario we have put forward. As most of us know, the applications and OSs get proper software updates from various vendors. But how do we go about handling hardware loopholes? Smita? Is the audio clear, guys?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Smita, you're audible now. So, you're
Sorry
discussing
for the
the
network
eighth
issue.
scenario now. Yeah, no problem. We understand. So the eighth scenario, OSs and applications are patches to remediate vulnerabilities. How about loopholes in the hardware?
Yeah, it is important to make sure users system is completely non-vulnerable, right? So, but it just does not mean that we are fixing all the only the software assets. I mean, all the third-party applications or OS applications. We need to remediate the hardware assets too. And Sena now supports hardware patching, and we can achieve it through firmware section. So in the same page, we will be able to go to the firmware section. So once user clicks on the firmware, agents will detect these hardware patches from the scan, from the normal scan itself, and will upload it to the server. So once the agent uploads it to the server, we will be able to see it in the firmware section. So all these firmware patching can be achieved in just two steps, like just select the asset and apply the selected patches, and we will be able to achieve hardware patching from this section. So we call it as firmware.
This is clear, Smita. So as Smita mentioned, along with support for major OS and third-party application updates, Sena now also provides support for firmware updates. Let us move on to the next scenario now. Bulky reports are pulling back from making strategic patching moves. This is one of the most commonly faced scenarios we faced and we encourage from our IT admins. So, whenever we tend to perform any IT admin task, reports are really crucial for us to analyze and make any smart moves further in making the process effective. So, whenever we find bulky, long reports, that is really pulling us back from making any proper moves, and that is really not the right solution to help us analyze. So, Smita, how do you think we can take care of this particular scenario?
Yeah. Reports is the key solution, as I tell. If you want to get the bulky reports from your from the account, we will be able to achieve. And reports in Sena now is supported for all the service provisions. So to go to reporting feature, before that, I would also like to tell you that. So once you dive into the PM page, right? So once you click on the PM page, you will be able to see any number of reports that you can get. So that's a basic step where getting all the basic information. But about that, we have some cool feature that is called as the reports. So once to go to the reporting feature, from the same left panel, you will be able to see report section. So once user clicks on reports, user will be landed with a report page. So this is the report page where you can create your custom reports. So you might be wondering how to create this custom reports. So there is a search option available for this. So once user, we are seeing the patch management. So when if I just click on click on PM. So all the sections that are related to PM will be displayed automatically. Suppose user wants to know about the asset compliance. So asset compliance details will be loaded immediately. Um, Similarly, if you want to know about devices with most critical patches and devices, any other information like the configuration issues in the summary or device compliance, so all these can be customized. So we can also drag and drop these reports from the left section. Okay, so you can just drag and drop to create your custom reports. So once you pull out all these sections, you might be wondering, you can save this and use it for further purpose. So that also can be done. The first thing is you can email your PDF as soon as you just customize it. If user wants to email it, there is an emailing option from this. And if user wants to download it as PDF, even that option is available. And we can also save these reports as and when required. And you in further use cases, you can even update these reports. So this is about customizing your reports. Now, we also provide something called as canned reports. So this canned report is where we have predefined set of sections that we give it for users, so that user need not worry about customizing all these reports. So once you click on the canned reports patch report, we are worrying about the patch. So patch report. Once we click on the patch report, complete details on the patching will be shown in this report. So this will be predefined and user need not edit anything. He can just view the details of the patching in his account. So in this way, user can just pull this report from the canned report section. Now, you might be wondering, like, if you if I have to compare the reports from the previous data, what are my patching progress in my account? User can still do that using the backing up of reports. So we can back up the reports. User can, once you pull canned reports or customized report, both the things can be backed up. So once you click on save option, there is an option to back up your report. So once it is enabled, you can back up your report on a daily basis or weekly basis. And you can keep the latest copies of your reports, like you can keep just latest 5 copies so that you can compare it easily, and provide a backing time every day, every week, or daily or weekly, the time that you provide here. And email for the user, like what are the emails that you want this backup to be sent, and select the organization and accounts for that, and just save or update your report. So once you do that, backing up of your reports will be done seamlessly. So in this way, we will be able to achieve a reporting feature in Sena Now. Not just this, we will also be we also have some exciting other features like alerting feature also in Sena Now, where you can see in the left section, you can see the alerts feature. So you can subscribe to these alerts from this section. So once user clicks on the alerting feature, uh, the patch management section, you can just traverse to the patch management section, and you can subscribe or unsubscribe your alerts, and to the email that it should be sent. And you can even customize it to a level where the number of missing patches, if you want to get only critical patches mail or all the missing patches, you will be able to get it in the mail. Also, some of the status that for the tasks that are created, we will be able to customize it in that level. So this is one more feature with reports. I mean, even though you can all these, we can get the alerts also from Sena Now.
That was really interesting, Smita. So now we are done with the major scenarios of today's webinar. So we feel like these are the major challenges encountered by IT admins in their day-to-day lives. If any of you over here are encountering any other scenarios, please put it forward in the question chat window, and we will really be happy to take that on the upcoming webinar. Let us discuss the questions quickly. So one of the questions we have got today is, what is the patch turnaround time in Sena now?
Um, Patches will be supported by Sena now within 24 hours, Dikshita.
That is nice, Smita. So let us move on to the next question. How does Sena now manages bandwidth during patch deployment?
Yeah, so we will be able to manage the bandwidth, like you can set your bandwidths, um, while remediating with the help of a feature called as buffered patches. So that can be achieved from the settings section also, where you can enable the buffer patches. So once you enable the buffer patches, after the scan, when all the vulnerabilities are detected and missing patches are associated with it, all the patches that are associated with that vulnerabilities will get downloaded into your local device in a separate folder under SecPod Scener. So from there, once the when you set the bandwidth, according to the bandwidth, all the patches will be downloaded, and when required, uh, when you apply a patching activity, agents will contact the same folder and then remediate the task. So we support through buffered patches.
That was really helpful, Smita. Let us see the next question. Do we support OS patching of Linux on Raspberry Pi? We do support a lot of Linux flavors, starting from Fedora, CentOS, RHEL, Oracle Linux, Amazon, Debian, Ubuntu, Mint, and Alpine. However, we currently do not provide support for Raspberry Pi. However, we will take this request forward to our product management team and will include it in our product roadmap. And our next question, can I purchase NNO patch management separately from the product suite? Yes, you can purchase NNO patch management separately as a whole platform. So, with this, we are done with the questions for today. And any questions, please do contact our support team. And if you are interested in taking a quick tour or a complete tour on Sena now, you can feel free to contact and schedule a demo with us, and we will be really happy to show a quick demo on our product. And in the upcoming webinar, we have plans on showing the other modules of Sena now, including vulnerability management, complaints management, endpoint management, asset management, and EDR. Stay tuned for the updates from us, and we will be happy to have you all in the next session as well. Thank you for joining the session, and it was a pleasure having you all today. Thank you once again.